Good evening, friends, and welcome to day 180 of A Poem a Day for 2026. Um, I grin because I can't hear 180 without thinking of the old TV show Bullseye and 180, um, which was obviously a very good score to achieve. And it might even win you the boat. Yeah, I don't know if that was a quote directly from the game, but um, my brain is full of quotes from TV and film, um, and they're always just waiting to escape. Um, so yeah, as I started talking, I knew that was there, just dying to get out. So um, there's been a big gap between me filming day 179 and this one. Because I just zoned out again. I was doing stuff on my phone and excuse me. So I'm gonna dive straight in. It's now about 9 o'clock. Still very light, but we will push on. I hope you've had a good Monday. Full page of a poet I'm very fond of, who we've talked about before. 29th of June brings us Originally by Carol Ann Duffy. And the blurb reads as follows. Here is a poem by the current Poet Laureate, this time on the subject of moving home, collecting the memories of relocating as a youngster from Glasgow, Scotland, to Stafford in England. Duffy comes to reflect that all childhood is an emigration. We are always on the move as we grow up. Just going to check something. So this collection was printed, by the looks of things, in 2017. So Carol Ann Duffy is not the current Poet Laureate, but was as of this book being released. I will have a look and see who is our current Poet Laureate when we finish. Originally by Carol Ann Duffy. We came from our own country in a red room, which fell through the fields, our mother singing our father's name to the turn of the wheels. My brothers cried, one of them bawling, "Home, home," as the miles rushed back to the city, the street, the house, the vacant rooms where we didn't live anymore. I stared at the eyes of a blind toy, holding its paw. All childhood is an emigration. Some are slow, leaving you standing resigned up an avenue where no one knows you stays. Others are sudden, your accent wrong, corners which seem familiar, leading to unimagined pebble-dashed estates, big boys eating worms and shouting words you don't understand. My parents' anxiety stirred like a loose tooth in my head. I want our own country, I said. But then you forget, or don't recall, or change, and, seeing your brother swallow a slug, feel only a scalp of shame. I remember my tongue shedding its skin like a snake, my voice in the classroom sounding just like the rest. Do I only think I lost a river, culture, speech, sense of first space and the right of place? Now, where do you come from? Strangers ask. Originally, and I hesitate. Yeah, I can. I know this well. Goodness, I know that well. Not being specific because I don't want to kind of um, specifically locate myself. But until I was 8 or 9, I grew up in East Anglia. Um, and I did have a bit of a Suffolk accent. Moved to the Midlands, and it was very clear I was not from here. I finished out year 4 in a school, and yeah, it was very. It was a bit jarring. I think I took to it better than my brother did. Where we had lived, year 7 was part of secondary school, and where we moved to, year 7 was part of middle school, and he was in year 7. So he had to leave secondary school and go back to middle school for a couple of months, and then go back up to secondary school in September. And that was really difficult for him. Understandably, yeah, that was a rough transition. And we attended a combined middle and primary school, so it wasn't just a drop from secondary back to middle. It was, he was in with like little kids. It was obviously not in the same classroom, but yeah, our mum could collect us from the same school. Yeah, it was a big shift. But we also had instability of private renting. Our first landlord was a lovely little house, and he told us that he was, I think he was travelling the world with his partner, and would be gone for X amount of years. After 10 months, she had met someone in Thailand and left him, so he wanted to come back to his house. So we had to move, found somewhere else, on the other side of the city, and the gentleman was going to university in Scotland to study medicine, I believe. Some branch of medicine would be gone for 5 to 7 years. He spectacularly failed his first year and was coming home, wanted his house back. My mum had previously been a council house tenant in our old home, contacted the council where we were living there, and explained that we were being made homeless and she didn't want the instability for her children to continue private renting, and asked for help. And housing was much more available some 30 years ago, and we were able to get housed in what was a relatively short frame of time. And we stayed in that house until I left home. I was the last person to leave home. But yeah, I'm not sure quite when I lost my East Anglian Suffolk accent, but I did. And now I'm somewhere a bit more northern, but not north. I am fully aware I don't live in the north, but I am more northern than where I did live. And when I see people from where I used to live, I was there for 20 years. they tell me that I sound northern, and I know that I don't. I sound I I have gained a little bit of an accent of this city. Um, and there are certain things that I say which are very of this city. Um, but yeah. But if anybody asks where I'm from, I don't hesitate. I've had a lot of upheaval in my life, but I think I'm not sure if it's believing in fate, but as difficult as it has been for various different reasons, I think it's all led me to where I am now. If things had happened in a different way, would I be here? Would I be in the situations I am now? Would I know the people I know? Would I be sharing this story with you? I don't know. And while things have been and are difficult in some ways, it's definitely not all bad. I think until tomorrow we'll leave it there. And here's hoping, when we eventually get down to it, we all have a very good